Welcome back, everyone.
I'm noticing it. I'll be right back.
Yes. Welcome back, everyone. Timberwolves lose. Sorry we were gone for so long. We've got busy lives that happened, and the Timberwolves aren't making us really want to do shows anyways. But Timberwolves lose. And Ashford's back.
127.
Yes, exactly. Just before I could say something to something. I'm sick of hearing, and this is more than just this game. It's more than the issues that we're going to get into with the cat injury potentially being worse than just a calf strain. I don't know. Some people are saying it's just a calf strain, and that's it. But that didn't look good on the court. Also, there's just all these questions about Rudy now, just the whole team in general. But I'm just sick and tired of having a player get a record high score against the Timberwolves. It just always happens.
Another day, another career high.
For real. This time it was against a better name than normal. Usually it's like that Conchar guy or whatever, like some weirdness. But this was more acceptable, I guess. But not really. It's just, I'm sick of it.
I have a question for you, Cameron. Why did we tune in tonight?
This is the question I ask myself all the time.
Yeah.
And breaking news from Adrian Wojnarowski, Minnesota Timberwolves star Karl-Anthony Towns will undergo an MRI on Tuesday, but there's some early optimism that he may have avoided a substantial injury to his lower leg. So we'll see.
I wonder if Tibbs was coach, we would have him like get up and play. Like we would just play as normal. Like when Carmelo fell to the floor and just like laid there for 45 seconds, they just continued playing.
Yes.
Like Levine, like it was an ACL or Achilles.
He played for several minutes.
He kept playing.
And he wasn't like not involved. Like he was like doing things.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Godfrey with the comment of the night so far: the dreaded sore throat / calf strain combo. Wow.
Brutal.
That is brutal. And this game was brutal. So, I mean, initial overreactions, or maybe not overreactions. Was the Rudy Gobert trade a mistake?
Was the hiring of Tim Connolly a mistake?
That is maybe the better question.
Should we condone relationships outside of Target Center? Should we butt in?
How is Campazzo not on the team yet?
Yeah.
It's rough.
Wembanyama can never be our baby mama.
Whoa. I like that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel worse today than I did yesterday, than I did the day before. I'm trying to make this an hour-long show than the day before that. I'm just kidding. This is pretty low. I'm in a really low state, and I'm also going to take like a 2 or 3 week break from watching Timberwolves actually in totality. So this was kind of a game that I wanted to win. I wanted to win that Warriors game more than anything. I didn't want Wiggins to pop off. That was embarrassing.
I know.
I don't want Porzingis. I don't want Kristaps Porzingis to pop off against the best shooting big man of all time, who only had 3 shot attempts in the first half. I am disgusted with the lack of awareness from this team, from the coaching staff as well. Delusional. Post game, thinking that we're not like doing things poorly or badly. We're just not getting up and down. We're not getting the rebounds. We're not taking care of the ball. Yeah, all of those things. Plus, I think the trade was a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
All those things. Plus, like Gobert is 10 steps slower than the guy he's guarding. Cat is slower than the guy he's guarding. So how are we recovering? Oh, we can recover with our length and our height and our arms wingspan. We haven't been doing that. So that is stuff we can't keep. You can't teach any of that, right? You can't coach height. You can't coach all that shit. So, okay, cool. Defensive player of the year, Gobert, you're amazing and everything. But currently you're kind of outdated.
Yeah.
So
And
can we kind of recuperate from that? Can we recover from this? It's no longer early. As Kat said, it was early. We have so much time to fix the situation. I don't think it's early.
we're past early. We just are. I think it was Austin Rivers after the game yesterday that said, like, if we're gonna be big, we got to play big, because like yesterday, Draymond Green was their big, and like we can't do that. Even with the players that we have, like Rudy can play big, but at the same time, we're using him as like an offensive weapon that he is not.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. Like tonight, at the last half of the game was a little bit better because we started getting him more like typical Rudy Gobert, like lob dunks, and he's like getting rebounds and putbacks and stuff like that. That makes more sense.
When you're down 20, it doesn't fucking make sense.
It doesn't make sense when you're down 20. But like when we were in the game, I mean, we were never in this game. We were down early. But, in the beginning of the game, we were trying to do the same things that we've been doing all year, where it's like, oh, we get him the ball. Let Rudy cook on offense. Like, it's just the weirdest thing. And it's uncomfortable to watch. And I don't think anybody wants to see that. I mean, of course, we want to see him succeed, but that's just not how he succeeds. So
Gobert would look like a hell of a ballerina. I'll give him that. Like, his dance moves are pretty sweet. He can shuffle his feet on any time he gets the ball, and he would be the belle of the ball for sure. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. I think he's inept on offense. I think it's put ball in hoop, jam it, or let me show you all this bag of trick I have, and it's all costly, fumbly, worse than Vanderbilt. Because we're expecting better. We're expecting greatness. We're expecting a player that we spent money on. We didn't spend any money on Vanderbilt. Like, we spent negative money on Vanderbilt.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell? Like, so in all of his deficiencies, we weren't paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And now we're paying max money for a long time. Like a long time.
I love the whole, like, we paid $40 million for Rudy Gobert run back and forth. That's all he's doing. And like, he occasionally sets screens. When he's not setting screens, he looks lost on offense. All the people saying off of him. When he's on the 3-point line, why is he on the 3-point line? Everyone's in the paint. That ruins all penetration from Ant. It discourages him from running into the paint. And then we've seen, like, a couple block shots here and there, or missed dunks here and there that what could have. That's because Gobert is not, a 3-point shooter. We just saw, we didn't just see, but like Utah Jazz rebuilt around a 5-out like spacing lineup with Olynyk and Laurie at the 4. And we're crushing teams. Like, they're kind of relegating back down to whatever they're supposed to be. But like, okay, if like Kuzma and Kispert, or like Porzingis, like, are you in the same conversation as Porzingis? Weren't you in the same conversation as Embiid and Jokic? You're now below Porzingis. Like, it's very embarrassing to put all your money on these players that are just outdated, inefficient, inept. And I felt like we overcorrected. I said this maybe a couple months ago. I felt like we overcorrected with this trade. We weren't wrong. I will say this. To be high about a franchise-altering trade, that's where we get the player, where we make the move, like, it's pretty cool. In a 2K sense, it's pretty cool. And now, like, our fandom is at its stake. And, like, real life sets in. And things aren't working. You can't just expect the team to build from what they had built in the offseason to now, right? Things have changed. People have, aged or aged out of a role. Or, are we going to trust in Noel? Are we going to put all of our eggs in the 6th man of the year candidate Noel? Are we going to see Ant emerge out of the trees? Are we going to have D'Lo become Brooklyn D'Lo? Like, and we waited 25 games to see like a first quarter stint of that, right? Like, you can't expect these things. You have to kind of predict and be better than these predictions as a GM, as an owner, as someone who's calculating these odds when you're doing these trades. I feel like we got taken advantage of. We got taken for a ride. And Utah's like, yeah, give us more. Yeah. Give that sweet teat of candy.
Give us Jaden,
I don't know,
too.
man.
Yeah,
like, we didn't have to give Beasley. I don't think we had to give Beasley for that. We didn't have to give Beverly for this. I don't really understand why we had to.
I don't either. It's I mean, I guess Utah probably saw it as a way to get more assets, and they wanted even more assets from us that we were like draft picks wise that we weren't going to give. So they're like, oh, we probably can flip Pat Bev for some kind of a thing, or we can flip Vando for somebody, or they just view that as that. But of course, now they are playing pretty well. But yeah, it's just interesting point by BXREP.
Oh, it's a great point.
Because like it's kind of what you're saying in some ways, where like trading for Gobert may be a mistake, but like running it back might have been too. I mean,
totally.
like we're not necessarily saying like don't trade anything, but like I don't know, this didn't work, but running it back we could have been even worse than we are right now. So
yeah, maybe our floor could have been higher. I think that maybe we could have had could have seen some growth from within with very little change. Just saying, DeJounte Murray was on the table and quickly went to Atlanta when we, offered up a smaller package and we didn't increase our odds or increase the package and or went in a different direction. I think DeJounte Murray would have been pretty excellent here. I'm just saying. Also, it feels like a timeline bridge between Ant and Cat, and I also feel like DeJounte Murray feels like a fun player to root for. Where is the fun on this team? The fun is gone. It's like the Jimmy Butler years all over again, only worse because we're not winning. When we did win, and holy crap, the delusion from Cat post game when we were on a 6-game fucking win streak or whatever, like we were beating up scrap teams that are hampered. Like they weren't legit. I don't feel like they were legit wins. We looked horrible outside of that Pacers game. We didn't look great. We were just like scraping by. Those wins weren't great.
Another thing I was thinking about is, on the same kind of topic that we're on about whether he should have traded, whether he shouldn't. We picked up Kyle Anderson before we traded for Gobert, right?
After.
Was it after? Oh, okay. I thought it was before because I was like, I thought he was our like mid-level exception or something like that. And because I thought he was coming in and I was like, wow, this is a bummer. But I was like, then I totally forgot about him once the Rudy thing happened. That's how my mind remembers it. I'm sure I'm wrong, but either way, like just think if we would have just added Kyle Anderson to the team that we already had. Kyle Anderson has been some weird, like I always say, ugly but efficient production for us. And if we would have just done that, I mean, I didn't like the move at the time, but like maybe that would have been better. I mean, this is all hindsight, of course, but like it's just there's just interesting things to look at about this trade. And we're not going to know yet. I mean, at the beginning of the last season, we started 4-9. I know we're past that point in this season, but like we started 4-9 and I was pretty low. I was almost the lowest I maybe have ever been as a Timberwolves fan. It's just like, how do we move on from this? We've got the team that we're supposed to have. We have to just blow it up. I was talking about trading Towns in the beginning of last season. I was talking about trading Jaden before the season last year. And then things just weren't working. So it was bad. And right now things are bad, but we are 10-11. Like it's not like terrible. But at the same time, like we were just talking about, Towns saying it's still early. It's past that point. We're a quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through the season. We could have been 15-8. We could have been a different story. We could have been at the top of the West. And just punishing teams. But I just feel like, how the season started, how the preseason started, how like training camp started. Towns out of shape, injured / in the hospital. Gobert like exhausted from international play. Ant apparently eating Popeyes. Like I don't know, right? Not showing up to training camp on their own time. Like they haven't earned shit to be in this cadence of we're better than thee, we're better than thou, and we're going to show up when we want to show up. Fuck that, man. It was so embarrassing to see that, and it's like it's costly because the team was building chemistry last year, and we scraped it, right? We said, no more. Let's start all over. Let's start anew. Beverly, you're gone. The chemistry has to be found again, and it's maybe a little bit unfortunate it has to be found from within, but it had to, and it just hasn't been showing. I feel so little in desire to be rooting for this team. When Ant is not playing, it just doesn't feel like a great team. It doesn't feel like a fun team. It just feels like a bottom barrel team. Really quick, what spiraled this whole thing. June 30th, Royce O'Neal got traded to Brooklyn Nets for the first pick, and then the whole meme thing, and then right after that trade, DeJounte Murray gets traded to the Hawks. Not even a week later, Wizards gets Will Barton and Monte Morris, but then that same day, I don't know why I'm telling you all this trash. The same day, Rudy Gobert gets traded. That same day. So it's funny how we could have been a week. We were like right there, but maybe we could have been a week earlier, and we could have had more juice.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could have waited and saw like the landscape of the trade market, because what we did is we established the trade market, and then nothing else happened. Like you look at the rest of the trade, and it's like, yeah, it's Kyle Anderson for fucking nothing, right? It's like signing scrap off of waivers and stuff like that, because no one understood the trade market after we gave them the farm. Yeah. I was honestly on board with the trade because of all the possibilities of I didn't have to care for, like all the future picks in trade assets I didn't have to care for, because we're getting a player that's established that we are showing, and we're making an attempt at the next step. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I think it's like 10 steps backwards, man. Cat doesn't look the same. Rudy Gobert doesn't look the same. Ant has no energy until he's dunking and taking over the game, but at the cost of the team, right? Like it's at the cost of the team sometimes. D'Lo's looked good in spurts lately, but like I don't want to rely on D'Lo ever.
I know.
And
I can't.
And peppered throughout the fucking broadcast was Jim Pete, Grady, like talking about, Gobert is showing flashes in the pan. Maybe unleashed him tonight. And also, we're without Taurean Prince, and we were out without Jaden McDaniels. No excuses.
Yeah.
Stop saying those are excuses, because if you're relying on a third-year dude who's foul prone, you're fucked.
Yeah, seriously. Also, side note, I really hope that Jim Pete retweet the other day was a mistake, but I don't think it was. Did you see that?
No, I don't know anything.
Oh,
I haven't been on Twitter.
It's political, so I'll stay out of it.
For now. No.
But it's bad, and it definitely ruined my reputation of him. So I definitely have no joy watching the Wolves anymore. It used to be Dave Benz and Jim Peterson that got me through the tough times. Now Dave's gone. I don't dislike Michael Grady. I do like Michael Grady, but also, okay, C&D show put this tweet out, and I think it's a joke, but they put out a tweet that was like, Rudy Gobert is one of the people on the list of people that like went to Epstein Island or something like that. I couldn't stop laughing. I don't know if it's real or not, but I looked it up and I saw another tweet about it, and I was like, wait a second. What is this? This is crazy. But anyways, I'm dipping too far into the political spectrum, but I just thought it was too funny.
I don't think you're dipping anywhere too far, because these days politics are integrated in everything. We can talk about it too. This could transition to Wolves or politics after dark or something. But I don't feel as well read as others. But Joe Becker, listening to Dane Moore's most recent pod, our wings aren't playing hard because they don't believe in the two bigs concept, and they gave up first sign of trouble. They always, like you see the finger pointing in the games?
Yep.
It's constant. Gobert is like fucking mean mugging everyone, or just like crazy eyes at everyone. Like
he is.
You're also at fault. Like I'm glad that you're sitting back in the paint. No one's driving to the paint. You're just sitting there, and Kyle Kuzma is wide open for a three in the corner. That should have been your dude. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's fucking bullshit.
It's just we're kind of at the point where it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Like we need to have heart-to-hearts. We need to have a team meeting or something to like clear the air, because like we do have everyone pointing at everyone else. Like, it's Rudy thinking his own way, Cat thinking his own way, D'Lo thinking his own way, and Ant standing in the corner with his hands on his hips. Like all of those things are unacceptable. And there's no right side. There's no wrong. I mean, they're all wrong sides. They have to figure it out together. All wrong sides. They have to figure it out. And like, although, as most of you probably know, I'm pretty pro Ant. So I'm like, I just believe in Ant as like the future of this team. Whatever future that is, I don't know, but I believe in it. I don't believe in Cat. I don't really believe in Rudy. And I definitely don't believe in D'Lo. So that's kind of where I stand. But at the same time, like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's just the wrong look. It's the wrong thing to do. It's not going to win you games. That's not how, none of that wins you games. You have to have concrete conversations with each other and work those things out. There's going to have to be differences. There's going to have to be compromise. It just happens. This is just what happens at work. This is what happens with teams. This is what happens in anything. This is how it works. You just have to do it.
Yeah, you need players to fall in line in the roles that they're designated to do. You're not supposed to one-off and do your own thing. It feels obvious, like when the shit hits the fan, when you're down big, it goes into hero ball mode. We were doing okay in the start of the third, and Cat wants to play, and Cat got the ball, and Cat brings the ball up, stealing the ball from D'Lo to bring the ball up, and then he gets injured 5 seconds later. Cough. Edit that. Production.
Will do.
But like, everyone wants to get involved. I love that, right? I love that everyone wants to be involved in part of it. But like, you have to ride with the momentum and like what we're seeing and how we're producing a shot, how we're producing points, and disrupting that doesn't feel like it's chemistry building. It's chemistry, dissolving. And I feel like Gobert, every fucking time there's like a little stoppage in play, he's like, "Hey, I was open. You just like throw it to me." Like, he's like screaming at Noel, he's screaming at Ant. And yeah, maybe if they were better passers, they could throw a lob. Cat threw a lob to Gobert, hit the front of the rim or something stupid like that, or maybe that was Ant. You know what I mean? Like, Ant. Just like, yeah, it's just like we're playing like fucking preschoolers out there when we should have been well groomed. We should have been. Yeah. We should know how to throw passes. We should know how to get the ball to him, but we don't.
Yeah.
Know your personnel. Then Gobert can't be screaming at these guys because they're young. They're score first players. You got to play around that. And I just feel, I don't know.
And if you just watch the games, from like a very basic level, you see that one team is getting wide open buckets every single time, and the other team is getting very tough buckets every single time.
Dude, what the hell? How can we? We've had months of this.
I know.
How do we not have a play drawn, and when it is a drawn, it's a turnover? And like, how do we not have simple offensive sets? Like, I haven't seen a single easy bucket from the Timberwolves. Maybe all year, honestly. All year.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And MBB says, "Do we need a new coach?" I don't know. I at this point, I almost feel like we're just so screwed with like where we are that we kind of just have to let it go and let it, whatever's going to happen. Because as much as I am the one that wants to blow it up every single week, that can't happen all the time. And I think we were talking about in Discord. Somebody was talking about in Discord. Maybe it was even you, MBB. I don't remember. But like, we can't just continually rebuild every single time that we get a little close, but we don't get all the way there. We can't just do that over and over and over again. Like, you have to improve, but you can't rebuild that many times. So we might just have to ride the storm out, and it might take a long time. I don't know. It may not happen this year. We were hopeful that this year would be a good year for us. We were talking in our preseason predictions before we did like the game by big game thing that we might be a top 4 seed. Certainly doesn't seem like that now, but maybe more work is to come.
Yeah, I do remember that we had like a switch up in the starting lineup where we had Patrick Beverley last year start later in the year, not like it was like 10 or 12 games in, and we had like a couple terrible back-to-back games that were like down big, lost to the Bucks by 30 or something. I remember that, and then we switched it up, and it looked good. It looked great for a while. We need some ass kickings, and also it's great that it's happening now and not 2 or 3 years from now when maybe we'll be more matured. And maybe the reality is this is our team from now till the end of Gobert's contract, because who's going to take on these players? Like, right, I'm serious. And, I don't want to sell the farm right now. I don't want to blow things up. Like, every loss looks worse, and every loss makes me think of trades. Every win makes me closer to even keel. But we can't give up 8 more threes per game than us. Like, we can't shoot less threes, make less threes. We can't be out rebounded by teams constantly. We can't be completely dumpstered in just like the 4 factors. we don't have any energy players on this team. Is it
Mhm.
Noel? Is it
It's Noel and
Ant?
Ant whenever he decides to, but that's not a constant. I was watching the Jazz game the other day, and Vando is out there just 24/7, just booking it everywhere. It's amazing, and I miss him so much. And Ant does that. I think there was a time tonight where Ant did that, and it was when he did that like opposite hand dunk attempt, and like he was going after steals, and it was like high energy for maybe like 5 minutes of gameplay, and then it just goes right away. It just goes right away. And I don't know if it's him getting tired or him giving up. It's a mental thing, a physical thing. I have no idea. But it's Vando's able to do it the whole game. And no one else apparently is on our team. It's crazy. Well, you want to do the tier list?
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds really fun.
It sounds fun. It also sounds like it could be a really quick one.
Yeah.
I have to apologize. I'm going to be out for a while, but also I've been like being terrible about answering people's questions and kind of putting up their comments in chat. Let's do a couple questions and then let's go in the tier list.
I like it.
So this one was like maybe 10 minutes or so ago. MBBS. So the real question is who gets fired first? Cameron, does anyone get fired?
I don't think so. I was kind of just saying this. I think you kind of just have to ride this out. I think there's fireable things happening, but I just don't think you can right now. It just would make things worse. So I guess I'd say no.
Gerald asked, what other superstar made a year 3 leap as a number 2?
Oh, I think that was in response to JJ because they're talking about Ant. And I know that JJ's a little down on Ant over the last while.
Oh yeah, I understand. I thought this question stuck out for me because it's like,
but it is
maybe
true.
you could have seen, like Ingram and Zion together, and then you could have seen someone emerge through injury, someone else emerge, or you could have seen like a CJ McCollum to Damian Lillard, and you could have seen a Jaylen Brown to Tatum. This team, the common denominator with all that is that they're guards, that they have the ball in their hands, and that they're playmaking for each other, and the other players are grinding out games to get the ball. Like Al Horford and Robert Williams, they're like getting the ball. They're fighting for the ball. And Marcus Smart isn't getting the ball. He's fighting for the ball. He's fighting for possessions because the team concept is about those two players. All right, the team concept of the Timberwolves, I'm having a real hard time. I'm having a real hard time defining what our team goals are, even. Like,
let Rudy cook.
Let Rudy cook. Yeah.
That's the new slogan.
Cool.
Yeah, and MBB responded real quick. Not even GM. I mean, he has ownership now. So, like, this is like a different ballgame. It's just crazy. The Wolves were the smallest team in the league last season. The Wings have to understand that there was a ceiling for our roster as it was. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just down bad. This team doesn't.
Would you say you're down double digits, or are you down like in a blowout? You're down like a colossal 47-point first quarter. Andrew Wiggins sniping you in the face.
Okay, I'm not that bad down, but like I am. I don't know where to put it on the Glenn Taylor scale. On the tier list, I'm like I'm on Wancho level. Well, no, I'm at Glenn Taylor. But it could go lower, I feel like. So,
man, holy crap. Before we get to this tier list, I'm on this lasagna take, man.
Do it.
Ever since the lasagna became a part of our lives, have we done anything? Have we done anything as a Timberwolves franchise? Nope. Has the recipe changed, evolved? Are we using organic tomatoes?
Again, I'm just blaming
naturally sourced.
I'm blaming meat. John Krasinski. He's the one that has done this to this franchise. John, you must speak on this.
I know you're listening.
We know you're one of these people listening.
Well, yeah, cool. Let's talk about the game, maybe. And the tier list, definitely.
Yes.
As I'm stalling to get the box score up.
It's okay.
We had a lot of players play tonight. Notably from the bench, We had a couple standouts. Josh Minot, +10. Team high, +10. But no, really. Brent Forbes, 12 minutes, 1 for 4 from the field. He made a 3. He made a couple free throws. He had 5 points. I'm bringing him up in a grade in 3, 2, 1.
Wancho.
Wancho, sure.
I'm so sick of him. I was so happy to have him. You guys, in the preseason, I was like, wow, I've always wanted Bryn Forbes on my team. I'm so excited. And then he's just dropping stinker after stinker game. It is unreal. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah. Time to step up. We got a man down, and he's like nowhere to be found. And it's embarrassing. And I bet you it's because he never felt like he's part of the team. Yeah, and so he's already 2 feet out. Can't wait to get him off this team. Let's blow it up, Bryn Forbes.
Welcome Campazzo to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, that'd be great. Naz Reid. It feels like a forgotten man after all those national games and that exposure for Naz Reid. 18 minutes, 2 for 6, a 3-pointer, a couple rebounds, 5 fouls, 6 points, a grade in 3, 2, 1.
D.
He might be a high man for us. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know, man. There was a game where we were getting blown out by the Warriors, and the Warriors are just like, where the fuck are the foul calls? The big, massive discrepancy. Yeah, you're up 30. Yeah, sure. Naz Reid is like pushing you. Don't bitch about the calls. It's Naz Reid. Well, apparently in a game like this, we're down 20. They were calling the fouls on Naz Reid. That's bullshit, in my opinion.
Yep.
All right, I got nothing else. I'm just kind of like, just wasting time here. All right, so the 2 big players, though, off the bench. Let's start with Kyle Anderson. 28 minutes, 3 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3-pointers, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a whole bunch of regret for leaving Memphis, 8 points, a grade for Kyle Anderson in 3, 2, 1.
C. Agreed. Oops, I went to the wrong page. Yeah, this is kind of what I expect from Kyle Anderson. As I say every single week, ugly but efficient.
Yeah. Ugly but efficient. And I don't want any of that. I want excitement. I want our team to lose and lose like it's the last game on earth, man. Play like your fucking heart is on the line, And I just don't feel like Kyle Anderson really makes me excited at all. But he has been pretty robust. He's been pretty what is it called? Consistent game to game. So can't be wrong. Can't be really faulting him for any of this, by the way. I feel also he should be even bolstered up to a B for bitching out Cat on the free throw line and having us hear it on the broadcast. Ooh, that felt good.
I did retweet it if anybody's curious.
Oh, yeah. And then Jalen Noel to round out the bench of misery. 25 points, 9 for 13 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Went to the line a few times. 5 rebounds, a steal even, 23 points. A grade for our boy in blue/brown,
Wait,
black.
Sorry, who?
Jalen Noel.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. A grade for our boy with 23 points in 3, 2, 1.
B. Yeah.
Could have been an A. But we lost. We lost
exactly.
miserably.
Yeah, we can't lose.
And maybe it's like a low B, because honestly, as much as you are putting up offensively, there are times where it's just the guy blows by you and you don't know what the fuck's going on. There's no communication. I don't know.
Yeah, this is better than I expect. I mean, I expect some amount of scoring from him, but this is a pretty good game for him. And tonight, it was everything he was doing was working, and I like that. But we have to win, and we didn't. So.
Yeah. So before we get into the starters, it'd mean a ton to us to get to 1,000 subscribers and 500 live viewers right now. So go create a new account on your burner phone, and then log in and and share and subscribe.
Exactly.
And comment below, who would you like to be the star of this team moving forward? Would it be Karl Anthony Towns? Would it be Anthony Edwards?
There was a poll on Twitter.
Or would it be, don't know, maybe the 2027 first round pick that we don't have?
Or is it D'Lo? You know?
Oh, there's a D'Lo thing.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards won that poll on Twitter, but
yeah,
let us know.
Wasn't a landslide though.
It was not a landslide.
And that makes me frustrated as a Timberwolves fan. I thought we were in unison.
I know. I was like, oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Jay didn't play tonight. Whoops.
Yeah, and I think obviously it was felt. He is so much better than his stats present, of course. But man, did we miss our TP Jaden J-Mac combo out there? Okay, cool. Austin Rivers gets the start. 24 minutes, 2 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3, a whole bunch of nothing, 4 fouls. Team high minus 25. That's his jersey number. 4 points. Great for him in 3, 2, 1. Wancho?
Maybe, maybe Wancho. It's just like a bad game, and it's crazy because he looked so good a couple games ago coming off the bench. He had like 2 or 3 good plays, I guess I should say. Not looked so good, but apparently it was enough for Chris Finch to put him in the starting lineup, and he's looked really bad. So
yeah, well, it's just like to almost disrupt. We have a disruption in the starting lineup. We don't know who to really replace the defense with, and Kyle Anderson makes this game. That makes our team that much slower. We have 2 burly big dudes and Kyle Anderson, and then Ant who wants to run, and D'Lo who can't run. Whoa, are we the slowest team in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it.
I don't know. Would we be faster if we had like Luka Garza at the point guard, and Nate Knight running shooting guard and shit like that? Would we be actually faster?
We should just do all centers.
Oh my god. Game 1. Rudy Gobert couldn't possibly, what's this floor? Is like a C. What's this floor? It's gotta be that fucking curse. 22 minutes for Karl Anthony Towns. 29 minutes, however, for Rudy Gobert. Perfect from the field, perfect from the free throw line. 7 rebounds, 1 block, 3 fouls, 19 points. However, stats, my friend, lie all the fucking time. Yep. A grade for Rudy Gobert in 3, 2, 1. D. A perfect game.
Yeah, I know.
And he's a fucking D.
But it is. I mean, like, he is not contributing, in the ways that we need him to. We need defense, and we've given up 140 points 2 games in a row. And I know it's not all on him, and I know that's why he's barking at people. But like, you have to have more of an effect than that. You can't have 1 block. It's just, and we can't keep. And this is less of a him problem, more of maybe a Finch or team problem. But you can't keep feeding him the ball. It's crazy. I mean, let him cook, but like, whatever. That's crazy.
Well, Rudy runs back and forth. Rudy Gogurt, which is now a brand of yogurt, which is now, 30 years later. I am disappointed in Jim Peterson tonight for not railing on the big dude. Mm-hmm. For seriously not like just destroying him in the broadcast. How does KP get open for a 3? 1. How does he get open for a 3 4 times in a row with no adjustment?
Yeah.
That right there should have deserved a benching for the entire fucking game, where in fact he would have scored 19. He would have scored 0 points. Mm-hmm. And I would have actually said, you know what? C. I would have given him a C grade for getting blown out 4 times in a row and then benched for the rest of the game.
Yep.
We're delusional. I said this before. We are expecting something to just fucking click in all these goddamn brains. Gobert is now past. He's a geezer out there compared to these other dudes, and we're all older than him. But he's a geezer out there. That's crazy. And he just will not adjust. I think the game plan was to spread out and was for Gobert to be sagging off of Kuzma, but not all the way, or sagging off of Kispert, or sagging off of, the man of the hour, fucking Porzingis, but not all the way. But he just defaults to that bullshit where he has to be underneath the rim because no, I'm going to Dikembe Mutombo your ass. Maybe, probably not.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've been noticing about Gobert is he's actually not the rim protector that I thought he was going to be. People are blowing by him. What was that? Kuzma did a fucking split dribble, and he's guard. That's his man, and he just went to the rim with ease.
Mm-hmm.
Gobert can recover with length and size and height and arm wingspan, and can't. So I feel like everything this boy, this man, this geezer says is on deaf ears with me. Like Towns, like half this fucking squad. Nothing these players are saying to me is going to ring true until I see it on the court. And I don't know what kind of adjustments we can make with Gobert. Do we bench him? Do we have him starting off the bench? Do we expose him to the world, to the NBA pundits out there? You know what? Kevin O claps hard. You were right. This trade did suck.
Yeah, it did.
And we're gonna make you feel great about yourself. No, we have to make this work, and we have 4 years to make this work. And I think, like, Western Conference Finals in 4 years is not possible anymore. Yeah, but that is our ceiling. That is our like. Otherwise, I don't know what to say even. Like, well, why do we make this fucking trade?
I know. Oh, I really, really hope that these conversations are ones that I can go back in 2 or 3 months and just be like, look at how stupid we were. Now we're 50. Right. We have 52 wins or whatever. Like, right. I hope that is what happens. And maybe it is. But right now, I mean, it certainly does not feel like it.
Yeah. He looks slower than normal. He can't dribble. He can't catch bounce passes, and he tries to do too much on offense when he gets the ball in his hands. You know, it's really great when he just dunks it and then fucking forgets it. Like, I can't believe that he doesn't do that 12 times a game. I just want 15 and 15 from him. I want no play calls drawn for him unless they're oops. Like, oops, I missed a shot and then a dunk putback, or oops, I'm putting the ball near the rim. Please go get it. You're the tallest dude in the building, except for tonight where they had George Morris on, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of this dumbass. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. D'Angelo Russell, 33 minutes. That feels like a season high in minutes for him. But 6 for 15 from the floor, 1 for 7 from 3, 4 free throws, 5 assists, a couple other ridiculously small stats. 17 points, though. D'Lo. Ice in his veins. Where's the ice, as Godfrey says? Agree. In 3, 2, 1.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're just like in sync. Yeah, I don't like giving him a C because, like, this shouldn't be like, oh yeah, decent job, D'Lo. Like, this should be like a bad game, maybe. Like, this shouldn't be like what we expect out of him, but it is now. I mean, and not even. I expect less than this from him now because he's been so bad to the start of the season. It was good to see him score early. And like be aggressive. And, as I said a couple games ago or a couple shows ago, which is now like a couple weeks ago, but like he is coming out with more energy on the floor for sure, but there's still things that are flawed in the game. And that's the thing that scares you because, like, it's a contract year and he's trying to, oh my God, Godfrey.
This is Goat Godfrey's show tonight.
This is seriously Godfrey's show tonight. Man, but it's just like he's got the extra pep in his step, but it's not resulting in that much better play. So I guess to see, but man, it's just been a bad season for him, and I don't know what this means for his future, honestly.
Going 6 for 15 is like a bright spot of the season for him.
Yeah.
That's all I have to really say about D'Lo. It was really cool to see his aggression, but holy crap. We see it once every 20 games.
Yep. Just
like Wiggins, just like every fucking star that we overpaid for. We see him seldomly. Man, I kind of wish we had Brandon Rush on this team. A dude who just doesn't do anything. Yeah. Mike Miller, who we pay money for, who just sits there and doesn't shoot the three, drives to the rim and passes to Randy Foye, who doesn't do anything, passes to, Rashawn McCants, who turns it over. Yeah. Like, that's expected. I don't know what to expect on any possession. We make it harder for ourselves. D'Lo doesn't get the ball to the right spots. He, maybe plays with Gobert the best with the screening and everything, but he is 1 for 7 from three. Where is the 3-point shot? It's gone. It's over there in Memphis or wherever the next team is that he'll be on. I don't know, man. It's very frustrating to see D'Lo out there, and we have no answers, and we have no ability to compensate for him. Mm-hmm. And he's the slowest dude on the team with Gobert and Towns on our team.
Yeah, and slow.
I don't know. Isn't that like red flag Connolly? Don't you know who you have on the team?
Yeah.
Let's get another dude who's slow to go on in year 22 or 2022 and go slower than everyone else. I don't know, man. Pace is picking up. Let's shoot 70 times. Let's be that team.
He must have been watching like a bunch of really old like 80s like NBA when he was signed by us, so he's just like ready for like old basketball.
Yeah. I was watching a trade. I went to go see Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out, and which was a movie. I don't care. I don't know if you know much about movies, but I know you don't actually specifically. Correct. But there's a trailer for a really dumb fucking movie, and these two old dudes, like Glenn, like Sally Field in her fucking 90s, right? Like drinking lean and getting lit. Is Conley like just fucking sitting in the bed, drinking lean, being like, I know what I'm doing here, boys. Cough syrup and grape soda, boys. Yeah. Let's do this trade. July 6th. Never been finer.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know, man. I'm just like, you should have just like shouldn't you have done like a 2K simulation 1,000 times and then figured out that Gobert is Gobert and not like transcending.
I bet he did do a 2K sim, and I bet the 2K sim went wild because it's like, whoa, I can't comprehend these players on the same team. So it's 82-0. And he's just like, you know what? It could happen.
Well, then fuck all those playtesters who was playtesting that game and said, you know what? Let's buff up, let's buff the stats of Gobert. Let's buff the stats of Cat. So then they appear like they're going to be winning games and winning the season and winning the title. Dude, they're probably like low-key Jazz fans. They're all Jazz fans. They just wanted Gobert off the team so bad they bolstered him up. Okay. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony strained calf. I couldn't even do it. I don't know. One of us like said, was he like faking it?
Yeah. Like, well, because he fakes injuries a lot.
Yeah. Was he faking it?
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, like, I would believe it, but like, I don't think he was, because there was like a shot that they had of him when he was down on the ground. And I think actually JJ said something about this earlier in the chat about how Towns, like in 2019 or something, said like, oh, it popped or something like that. And, you know, this game, I didn't see him say that, but he was looking up at somebody and saying something with like, I don't know how to describe it. It looked like fear in his eyes. It looked real to me in the moment, but wow. I don't know. I mean, obviously things seem to be okay, but also he's been relatively healthy, I guess, compared to other bigs. His whole career, it's not been too bad. Like, he's had some stints where he's been out, but like relatively healthy for the size he is and how much he falls to the ground, especially too. But I don't know. This one, I'm nervous about this one. I know people on Twitter that probably know more than me are saying things like, oh yeah, you don't have to worry. But I'm a little worried for him.
Yeah.
Not the team.
I really definitely don't hope this is worse than what they are saying. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he's just like, out for a week, maybe two. Could be a blessing in disguise in a weird way of like looking at a way to evaluate the rest of our roster. Mm-hmm. Putting a fucking like a gun to Connolly's head, being like, make a fucking move. Like, I'm sorry for saying gun. It should have been like a stick, a really big fucking stick. But whatever. A stick to his head, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, a glockenspiel. I'm sorry. Everything's a gun. Everything's a gun in this world today. I've run out of things. A snow cone? Turn that into a gun.
There we go.
All right. Well, a snow cone to his head. Fear the burr. I don't know, man.
You're off the rails.
I am. Yeah. 0 for 3 in the first half, my friend. I couldn't stand it. Here's I can't believe I'm saying his name incorrectly. Kristaps Porzingis popping off.
Yeah.
You're responding by passing it to Gobert. You're responding by not doing anything. You're responding by getting 3 fouls.
You're responding by passing like this.
Down 25.
25 points. Oh, my God.
It's insane. We're not good enough to do this, to relegate or delegate off of our best player, right? Aren't you supposed to be our best player? I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And claim best shooter of big time of all time. And I can't believe I get to say that all the time now when talking about fucking Cat, because that's been now attached to his stupid ass name.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
Because he's not. Because he doesn't shoot anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm just over him. I'm over him. Yeah. And you and I have talked about this for years now. Those of you that have been with us since the Twitch days, we've talked about this forever. We were so cast aside by all Timberwolves fans because they're like, how could you dare talk down to Karl Anthony Towns? It's just, I mean, we have to we have to find a different solution. He cannot be our number one. He has the talent to be a number one, but he does not have the mindset to be a number one. Yeah, to Godfrey, and probably Godfrey's point, but Gerald said most importantly, like, you can't coach this guy. I really feel like you can't really coach this guy. Mm-hmm. You have to coach him hard. You can't let him figure it out. You can't let him decide when to turn it on and off. You have to really coach him hard. Tibbs got a lot out of Towns, I felt. Maybe not the best. I thought maybe, Sam Mitchell might have been whatever the fuck the best. I don't care. I don't want to care. I don't really want to care. But, like, I don't know. You can't really coach this guy. But you have to. You have to enforce literally everything that he does because he's overthinking everything. I'm impressed with the fact that he just has shut up this year for the most part. Really, really happy with that. Yeah, he has. And I'm also, like, he's not a headline. He's not been saying the dumbest shit whenever the microphone's on him. He's saying a lot of dumb shit. Yeah, and actually I haven't been listening too, so that's pretty funny. He's made it so I don't care as much about it. That's true. And he's been, solid, dude. Like, he's 20 and 15 on any given night, 26 and 12, whatever. That's great. It doesn't – sometimes there's fucking empty stats, though, man. And so I feel terrible that he's gone through this injury, and hopefully it's, like, not anything. Hopefully he springs back whenever he's healthy. But also, take your time. Let's fucking lose a lot. I don't care. And then we have to make a move, make an adjustment, make a change. Maybe it's not Finch. Maybe it's not, a small trade. Maybe it's a big trade. But I don't know. A trade's not going to fix this team. I'm going to say this straight up. And a firing of a coach to make Mike Nori the guy with 1,000 fucking catchphrases is not going to fix the team. Right? It is a little enjoyable, though. Like, it's enjoyable, but then, like, he's not going to be in the halftime, report answering questions. That's true. Statstorm herself. Oh, ESPN would love him, though. Stats. Yeah, the Statstorm thing is crazy. For sure. But, like, would he be making sense of these players? I don't know. Like, would they be like, oh, yeah, we got to put the fucking 5 pounds of potatoes in a 10-sack or 10-pound bag or whatever. Or, we got to find that needle. Maybe that's their language. I don't know. They might understand that. Yeah. Cat. 8 points, 3 fouls, 4 assists, 1 3-point attempt. My boy had 2 points at halftime. It's beside myself how fucking stupid the consistency of this player. I don't know. Like, how many points did he score? Huh? How many points did he score? 8 points before he went down. Okay. But he went down pretty early in that third quarter. That's true. Maybe he would have gotten 20, but at the cost of Noel, right? At the cost of someone else popping off. So yeah.
Grade might be. I don't know why I'm wasting my time here. A grade for Cat in 3, 2, 1.
Wancho?
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything. I was going to agree with you because
I was
we were
almost
just
going to
so
say
in
Glenn
click.
Taylor.
We were so in sync today.
Yeah, I was almost going to say Glenn Taylor because I'm just like Glenn Taylor. He is the definition of Glenn Taylor, though. It's just the consistency of being what you're not supposed to be. Like it's just he's the definition of what Glenn Taylor is. But man, I guess he doesn't own a bunch of chicken farms, so he can't be Glenn Taylor.
Yeah.
But
Anthony Edwards, 37 minutes. The good. 9 for 19 from the field. 10 for 11 from the free throw line. 29 points. 8 rebounds. 2 steals. 2 fouls. And one was like a little stupid shove to kiss, what was his name? Ajiva's eyes, right? Okay. The bad. 1 for 6 from 3. 7 turnovers.
Oof.
Team high. Minus 25 in plus or minus stat. A grade for our A1 from Day One Black Jesus. Wolves back in 3, 2, 1.
C.
I was gonna say.
I think you were gonna say
I needed
B.
more time. I needed more time.
Yeah,
I was gonna say B.
I was on the fence, but since I am on the fence and we lost, I just went down to C. But I do think this was. I mean, I have liked Ant's performances of late. I'm not saying there haven't been flaws. Like there have been flaws. We've still got the hands on hips in the corner for plays that aren't run for him. We've still got like energy spikes that go for 5 minutes and then absolutely disappears. But he just does have that ability to take over the game, and he should just be the one doing it. We should not be force feeding the ball to Rudy. We should not be force feeding it to Cat, since Cat doesn't even want to shoot anymore. It should be Ant. And realistically, we need shooters around him. So, I mean, that's a totally different team construction, but like it needs to be Ant. That's just the way I see this team working right now. And I don't know how working looks, but it would be better, I feel.
Yeah. 7 for 27 from 3 as a team. In today's league, you need 12. We need to have the threes. We need to have the RBs. We need to eat every game. I don't think you can contest in a normal setting with 7 threes. I think the beginning of this game had the look of an Ant game written all over it. And I don't think the team wants Ant to have the game footprint all over it. I think it's only when we are desperate we need someone with the hot hand. I think Cat wants to pop off. I think D'Lo wants to have his numbers early because that's what the recipe is to get everyone involved at some point in the game, because D'Lo's not going to get the ball in the middle of the game. Cat's going to get his in like the flow of the game and then maybe like third quarter takeover. Ant needs to get the ball in the second stint with the reserves. He gets the ball a lot, right? That's where he scores a lot. So it's like we're picking our time in the game for players to pop off and not go with the flow of the offense. So I think bullshit on Finch. I'm very I think there's a lot of hypocrisy in the front office, in my opinion. And I think Ant deserves a lot more from his teammates.
Yeah.
He's exposed sometimes on defense. Yeah, he has his hand on his hips. Yeah, he has costly turnovers, and some of them are forced. Some of them are unforced. Some of them are, because he's 3 years in the league, right? 3, 4, whatever years in the league.
Yeah.
I'm with him till the end of the line, man. I feel like with Ant, we have a future. We have a footprint for success. We have some sort of goalpost that feels like it makes sense. Him and Chanin together. J-Mac, like, the engine is there with those two dudes, and we are burying it with these other dudes who think they're it, who think we can take this franchise to the top, and that ain't it. Yeah. I think if Ant had 30 shot attempts tonight, like as stupid as it fucking sounds, we would have had a better shot at winning this game.
I think this goes back a couple things of note. One, Headshot's going wild in the chat. But 2, JJ, to answer your question, you didn't watch the game. Did Edwards do anything explosive this game, or was he just hitting jumpers? It was both. He did have a couple dunks and a couple big plays that were like notable, and they were explosive. But it certainly wasn't like the full game was explosive. Not that you can expect that from anybody, but like it wasn't like full Ant like game. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know where I was going to go with the other stuff, but it's this was an okay. I guess this is where I was going to go with it. You know, our team is just constructed in a weird way because we had, like you were saying, we've got Towns, we've got Gobert, who's apparently going to be one of our offensive players. We've got D'Lo. So normally when you have a player like Ant, they're going to have a couple years on like a bad team where they're the number one option, learning how to be the number one option. Maybe they're making mistakes. You know, you could maybe look at like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or something like that on OKC, where it's like he's kind of like the player down there figuring it out on his own. I mean, like they have other players. I'm not saying they don't because like obviously Giddey's there, but like I don't know, he's like the guy in a way. And Ant doesn't get that same opportunity with this team. I'm not saying that that's the only way you can develop, but like he's not getting the same chances that a lot of other rookies might. I mean, he's not a rookie, but like he didn't get the same chances because he's not going to be that scorer. He's going to be a scorer, and he's going to have to pick his moments, which I don't think he wants to do. I think he wants to do the whole game. He wants to be the guy, and we just don't have that. We just don't have that ability with the people that we have on our team.
Yeah, roster composition is, dude, holy crap. Stats. The fucking, like, data heads back there saying, ooh, if we just, like, remove a Vanderbilt and add a Gobert, ooh, statistically, we're going to be a top 5 defense. Ooh, take that top 10 offense and make it a top 5 offense because, ooh, look at those, like, stats about pick and roll with D'Lo. And look at those stats with, Gobert with, like, shit players around him. Like, ooh, put him next to all these other players around him and what's going to happen. Chemistry. Poise. Like, give a fuckery. Like, I play for Beverly. I play with my teammates because they run hard. They do shit on the floor. Vanderbilt, like, those were like Ant's friends, right? Like, those are Ant's dudes. And yeah, this is a business and all that junk. And yeah, Beverly probably wouldn't have looked that great this year, in my opinion. Because honestly, what needed to have happened was less Beverly on the floor, more Beverly just in our ears.
Yeah.
Right, and just another player to take that position because we were so small out there at times, right? But man, I'm holding fucking 2 drinks at the same time. I want to drink them, but I can't because I have so much to fucking say. It's just a mess, and I fear because these stats from the from the data heads that are telling Connolly make these moves, and we made these moves, and they look like ass. I fear that Ant's going to lose his shit. I fear that Ant's going to be like, this is not the thing I signed up for because this felt like it could have been a team building for something together, and you keep ripping my friends away from me. You keep making this game more lame and tame and uninteresting every year, and you're not giving me the ball. You're not. Luka's usage percentage, right? Giannis's usage percentage fucking makes sense. I don't think Ant's usage makes sense. Like, there are times when he shoots 10 times. There are times when he shoots like 20 plus times. It's like, okay, but he's trying to find himself on a rhythm. And yeah, maybe he's an inefficient player, whatever. But he's one of the only players that drives to the rim. He's one of the only players that gets fouled. He's one of the only players that feels like, gives a shit, tries hard on both ends, and doesn't have like a hole that like age can't fix and with like and wealth of experience can't fix. I think he has all the tools to be a superstar, and we're not giving him the fucking keys. The hammer.
I totally agree. And I kind of think even if you're not as big of a believer in Ant, or you think that I just think that like we've tried Towns as that guy. It just needs to be Ant's turn to do that. I don't want to miss some kind of ramp up period where he could really start to just thrive. And it feels like we might be doing that. I'm not saying we're past that because we could still do that, but I do think that we're getting closer to something that you were talking about, more of like talking about 2K, but like one of those times where like one of the players gets like news comes out that the player's unhappy. They want the ball more or something like that. That feels like a very real possibility to have these like ESPN stories go out about, oh, Anthony Edwards wants the ball more, or just like typical 2K news, whatever. That feels like a possibility. And if that Dane Moore thing that Gerald posted in the Discord, and I think in chat earlier, has any truth to it about the guards not liking this roster construction, then it's probably going to happen. Then it's probably going to happen, because I think we look stuck in the ways that we are right now.
Wow, that was a very real statement. We feel stuck. I don't feel like any adjustment can change. Like that, like the defensive intensity that was brought on for moments of last year were pretty fun, pretty enriching, pretty exciting. It was burning people, to the ground. Like Vando, like couldn't sustain this for years, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but it looked okay. It looked bad when like Brandon Clark's in the middle being like, this is eat. And it looked bad when like Beasley's our last line of defense at times, right? But man, when it was clicking, it was looking good. We aren't doing anything on defense. We are letting them shoot from wherever, from whenever, whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
Open, wide open. I don't know. Defense pours into our offense. Offense pours into our defense. It makes sense. But like when you're just not getting stops, what plays are you trying to run to compensate for the fucking lack of stops? Like, you got to shoot threes. You gotta win out by by the numbers, but you're not even shooting threes.
Yeah.
So then you gotta get then you gotta go hard and get to the line and get those players that are shooting the threes in foul trouble. That's not happening. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like there's a road to success this year. I don't see it with this current roster. We could be a 500 team. We could be a play-in, like, berth roster, and it won't be. I will not be happy. I will be so frustrated.
Yeah.
I will be like wanting to cut ties. We are deserving to be better than what we were last year. We are deserving to be a top tier team. The personnel is not happening. The personnel is not going to cut it. We need change, but we also need players that give a shit, buy in for each other, play for each other, and we're not seeing any of it. It needs to happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing that I was kind of going to talk about, and I don't have much to say really, but I guess it's more of just a thought, is like, obviously we're just watching the game. All of us here in the chat, all you and me, we don't get to know the players, get to hear the interactions, other than like the Kyle Anderson to Towns thing during the game. Like, we don't get to hear a lot of those interactions. So that is such a huge part of how, like, you can change the look and feel of a loss, because like if in the locker room, like, constructive things are happening and you're 10-11, okay, that's more acceptable. But like, since we don't hear that, we can only assume that, and we do hear rumblings of like unhappiness. It immediately turns into this like, oh, so we're only 10-11 and it's still beginning of the season. Now it's like, oh, we may be way worse than this because we're nowhere near on the same page. We're not trying to be on the same page. And that's what we just don't know, without being in the locker room and hearing what the conversations are, seeing the friendships between players or the lack of friendship between players. There's a lot to it. So I guess we can look forward. I know Ashwin just left. But
I'm just gonna stay in this.
Okay, sounds good. We're almost over anyways. What's the upcoming games? I think we have one coming up here soon. Wednesday. Let's see here. Wednesday at home against the Grizzlies. Yeesh. Mm-hmm. Saturday at home. Oh, we got a little homestand. Wow, what the heck is going on? We've got home on Wednesday, home on Saturday against the Thunder.
Yeah.
And then we're at home the next Wednesday against the Pacers. So we have 3 days off in between those games.
Yeah.
And 2 games off in between the next one.
Can we pause right there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry about my camera. If we stopped right there, which we just did, 3 days after the Pacers game or after the Thunder game?
After the Thunder game.
If we lose the Thunder game, small prediction.
Okay, yeah.
Small prediction: if we lose the next two, Finch is fired.
Ooh. Interesting.
He's always the first to go.
It is
He's always
true.
the first to go.
It is true. And I think as I get older, my perception of time becomes different. So like I still feel like we're in the beginning days of Finch, but really we've been with Finch for a little while now. So maybe that is possible. Yeah, if we continue to lose badly like this too, like that's where I can really see it. I could see that happening. If we're giving up 140 points, if we're still force feeding, if we're letting Rudy cook, it's crazy. I was really thinking about this. We really are like the Denver Broncos of the NBA.
No.
It's so sad. I mean, like Rudy's not as corny as Russell Wilson, but man, it is. We paid all this money and these draft picks and these players for a player that's 30 and is not helping our team.
Yeah, past his prime, frankly. I just saw the thumbnail of tonight's show. I hate it so much. But then after that Thunder game, we have the Pacers, Jazz, Blazers. All games we should win with our current roster. Pretend that we were winning, pretend we have a successful franchise. All games. These are all games we should win. We should beat the Grizzlies because they kicked our ass in the postseason. These should all these games should matter. They're all in our division except for the Pacers, right? This should all just be what we are looking for. But I feel like we're going to have the opposite.
I agree. I think we're about to go into December. Here's a medium-term prediction since you just did a short-term prediction. Medium-term prediction, and this is a sad one, but I think that we're still 500 or below at the end of December.
End of December, we're 500 below?
Yeah, I think the best we could be is 500, and I think we're probably a couple games under 500.
Yeah, I mean, medium take for sure. Yeah. I hope that something, December, I think it's like December 15th or something is like an actual like date when trades can happen. I forgot exactly what date it is, but or 6th, I think maybe it's the 6th. But I'm expecting hopefully calls to be made and rumors to be thrown around and hopefully something to change because what's going to happen is Finch raw deal gets canned. We're not going to look better. We're going to look worse. And the players are going to try to like give a shit more, but like, why does it have to be at the cost of Finch, right? Like, I think we are all in on Finch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just fire Glenn somehow. I don't know. That would make me feel better. Well, anyways, that's it for us tonight. If you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Ashwin, you're going to be gone for a little bit, but I will be here. I'm hoping to still do shows. I'm telling you guys, though, if it's really bad, I don't know if I can. Like, if it gets really bad, there might be shows that I can't. But I'm going to try to be here for most of the shows if I can. And if I don't have photo shoots, which I'm having photo shoots now, which is a thing. But by the way, if you're in Seattle, book me for a photo shoot. Yeah, I think that's, by the way, I don't know what it is. Every week, this is totally random, not basketball related, so everybody else can leave. In every week in Airbnb, when people are asking me questions about the photo shoots and stuff, every single week I get somebody named Ashwin reaching out to me. Every week. On. And I always think it's you like tricking me because like the questions that I get are like so funny. And I'm like, I can't believe that this has to be Ashwin, not some other Ashwin. And I always think it's you.
Man. Well, I'm sorry, dude.
That's okay. But I think if you every week.
A former version of myself would have trolled the shit out of you. I really would have. But I'm a little too old for that now. So.
Wow. Well, anyways, game on Wednesday. Maybe you'll see me on Wednesday. But if not, oh well. 52 wins still in play. Intro as the outro. We'll see you sometime. Bye.